Hello, my love, and welcome back to another episode of Telling It Like It Is. I'm Cynthia Nerick, and today's episode, we're going to talk about the power of saying no. How often do you say no? How comfortable are you saying no to a friend, coworker, anybody in general? This is something we need to practice getting used to because it affects our well-being, our mental health, even the physical health, because people can get anxious about, oh, I gotta say no. The next time somebody asks you to do something, you're not sure how to answer. You need to first go through this question mentally. Is this adding any value to myself? Am I doing this because I'm trying to please others? Is this person gaslighting me? Is this person really looking after my interest? Are they only thinking about themselves? Somebody asks you something and you don't know how to answer. The best thing you could say is, I'm not sure right now. Why don't I give me some time? Let me think about it. And I say this because every no can turn into a yes. But once you say yes, it can turn into a no. Because you can cause disappointment, anger, even enter into an argument, or they can lose trust or reliability in you. Because now you say yes, and a day to a week later, you say, no, I can't do it, or I'm not available. Now, if you say, let me think about it, or once you get used to, comfortable to say no, I say, I can't do it. Then later on, you need the time to think about it. Is it really fitting my schedule? What is it doing for me? Like I just mentioned before, what is that adding value to my life? And then you go to them and say, you know what? I thought about it. I got a cancellation. I am available now. What is it that you need from me? Now that no is turning into something positive because they feel, you know what? She's a team player. She can do it. She's my friend. I can count on her. Contrary to what I just mentioned, if you say yes and then you say no. Saying no, my experience, what I come from, what I went through, I realized that this comes from my childhood. I'm a people pleaser, guilty as charged. I felt from the real beginning of my life that I was placed in a situation where I wanted to be liked, I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be part of, I wanted to belong. I was raised in the Dominican Republic, and there's a lot of influence from different ethnicities. And I always felt like I was the brown girl, the girl with the kinky, frizzy hair. People from Middle Eastern with straight hair, beautiful skin. And you know what? I wanted to fit in. So we're talking about my teenage years. Normally you look weird, teenage years. I really was the ugliest duckling in the group. And I started being a people pleaser then. I realize this now, a little 61-year-old young girl here. I wanted it to be part of that. So instead of saying, I can't do it, I don't have the time, I can help you, but I cannot do it all alone, I started just saying yes, because I wanted them to include me. And as time went on in my life, that's what's it. Cynthia was the yes person. No matter how I overcommitted, which affected a lot of things in my life. But more importantly, I realized how little I prioritized myself. How little Cynthia was the most important thing in my life. And it should be. And I know you guys I hope you don't think I'm just selfish, but sometimes in life you need to be selfish. Because if you don't take care of yourself and you prioritize your own needs, you become that, a people pleaser, and you're never able to say no. Another thing that happened to me that really woke me up is personal experience. I lost my sister-in-law 4 years ago, and I realized how I needed to become an entity of my own. I realized that life is so short and fragile that I needed to prioritize myself. Is it working for me? You ask me for a favor, but I'm going to have to change my day, or I have to overcommit and then stressed out, not sleep enough. eat on a run, afraid to disappoint somebody, afraid that they're not going to count on me, afraid like, don't ask Cynthia. No, no, no. If it doesn't fit your schedule, what you're doing, your plans, even your physical condition, you can't do that. Let's do a marathon. Let's do something, but that's not for me. Don't do it just because you are afraid to say no. I realized once she died that I needed to become who I am. And since that time, I have become a separate entity. And I have learned, even if it's been uncomfortable at times, to say no to people. You can be polite, you can be respectful, you have to be assertive. Another thing that has really woken me and helped me, be a better person and become this person I am today, is that I have learned how to set boundaries. And by saying no, at the same time, you're setting boundaries for yourself. And there's two things that's going to happen when you get comfortable saying no to people. Some of them are going to be angry. They're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean no? You always say yes, in my case, because they're used to the yes, Cynthia. Or they're going to start respecting me. They're going to start seeing me as, you know what? She's prioritizing what works for her. Even my kids. I have two adult kids. No, right now I'm a dancer. I have my classes. I have to take care of myself and my friends. Sometimes they need me and they're used to, mom is always going to say, yes, I'm going to be there. I'm saying, no, you know what? You didn't give me enough time, enough notice. I'm not running around changing my schedule because you need something now. You need to respect my schedule, my priorities. So I set boundaries, even with my husband, who for the longest time, 15 years, was used to be Cynthia and Mark. And Mark, very successful guy. You guys met him before. And if you didn't, you should check out that episode with Mark Nurek. And now Mark understands that Cynthia is an entity of herself, for herself. And I have said to him, no, that doesn't sit right. I don't want to do that. But why? And politely, beautiful, loving words. And sometimes, you got to grow a backbone and say no, concisely, with confidence. Because now you have your own boundaries. You know exactly what you want. And don't be afraid to say no. Because like I said to you, there'll be two things. They're going to be angry at you for the time being, or they're going to respect you. Either way, you win. Why? Because you set yourself as priority. So there are other questions that I think people are afraid to say no to people, especially when it comes to your family member or your close friends. They call you to do something that unexpectedly, and it's like at the last minute, the last hour. You know deep inside you should say no. But because they used to you saying yes, then you come up with an excuse. I know this is not so easy, and trust me, it hasn't been easy for me. I'm still in this journey of learning how to say no. But don't lie. Just say it straight up. Telling it like it is. You know what? I can't do it tonight. I'm so sorry. I wish I can say help you, but you can also offer them alternatives. Listen, I know a service that can walk your dog. You can call an Uber. I have a cleaning lady that can help you. Or simply I have a makeup artist that can, like anything depends on what they're asking you, offer them alternatives. But if in your soul, you can't do it, or it's not up your alley, or you don't want to do it, fuck it, I just don't want to do it. Say it. Because saying no is going to set you free. It's going to set boundaries. And more importantly, you start prioritizing yourself. As I mentioned before, the art of the practice of saying no takes time. But that affects every aspect of your life, including your relationship and your intimacy. Because no should be no. Could be your husband, could be your boyfriend. And one last time, why not? Whatever it is, even in an intimacy, in a relationship of 15 years, if I say no, you can say in a loving way, but stay in your grounds. That's no. Another thing that causes is that you set the tone. When you respect yourself at that level, you set the tone how others are going to respect you, including your husband, your boyfriend, or that special person or significant other in your life. And that's a little tricky, and I'm not going to be too explicit about this, but let's just say as women, we think that somebody is sexually harassing you or that somebody is doing something you don't want. But when you say no and you say it confidently and you say you have a backbone to say no, you don't even have to explain why. Oh, I don't feel like it. I got my period. Have a headache. I mean, normally you would say something because you're like, no, I don't want it. That's not it. It's just when you say, babe, I don't feel like it. I'm tired. No matter what, that's a no. And saying no is sometimes uncomfortable, but it will save us a lot of grief. It's going to be a well-being for our mind, physically, mentally, emotionally, and most importantly, it's going to prioritize us as women, as a person, as an entity of our own. So, think about it. I'm not sure when was the last time you say no, but the next time you get asked to do something for somebody, think about this episode. And if you have any questions or you have any experience you want to share, please leave your comment below. I would like to hear how you handle saying no to somebody the next time.